Body language secrets for attracting a man. Is there a certain someone you're itching to catch the attention of? Maybe you've noticed him, but you just can't seem to get him to notice you back. There are actually a few subtle things that you can do to grab his attention just by shifting your own body language. Body language is a type of nonverbal communication that expresses what words do not. It might give some type of indicator of how you're feeling, or it can grab the attention of those around you. This comes in handy when trying to attract that certain someone. In fact, there are specific types of body languages you can express to make you more attractive. When looking to grab the attention of your man, you'll be sure to catch his eye with your body language. You might be worried about coming off too strong or even embarrassing yourself. Although rest assured that these secrets are just subtle enough for him to not even know why he's so drawn to you. It will just be a sort of magnetism. Preening. Have you ever found yourself playing with your hair more often while talking to someone you like? Or maybe you found yourself just generally worried about your overall appearance. There's actually a word for this. You're not being awkward. These subtle cues are a type of body language called preening behaviors. When we find ourselves doing this, it can be a good indicator that we're talking to that certain someone. Licking lips. This body language isn't just something you might tend to do right before kissing someone. Although this can show a man you're open to being intimate, it can also happen without you even knowing. When you subconsciously lick your lips around someone, it typically means your mouth is dry. Gross, right? Actually, this can indicate you're attracted to that person. When you're attracted to someone, your breathing increases and can dry out your mouth, especially when being intimate. Eye and facial movement. When you're attracted to someone, a lot of this attraction can be emotional. There are many ways you can show your man of interest that you're attracted to him through emotion. By smiling, you're expressing a positive emotion toward your man. This will show him you're interested, and he will likely feel more comfortable talking to you. When talking to someone you like, you might also find yourself blinking faster or fluttering your eyelids. Or you might notice yourself slightly raising your eyebrows in amusement. These facial movements will also draw him in as he sees how intrigued you are by him. Leaning in. Depending on how close you are to your man, you might find yourself wanting to create less space between the two of you. This doesn't have to mean intimacy, it can even be during a conversation. You might find yourself leaning into the person during conversation, and if you find that he tends to lean back or accept this closeness, it is a telltale sign the two of you have a spark. This also creates feelings of comfort in the dynamic as you give each other your undivided attention. Availability. This expression of body language is typically one of the more noticeable forms of communication because it encompasses your entire stance. When you're expressing availability, you tend to stand with a more open posture. When you're unavailable, you might sit with your arms crossed and be hunched over. If you're talking to someone you like, you'll usually adopt a more open posture. In fact, an open posture might even gain you brownie points as you'll appear more confident. This can be attractive to someone you might want to notice you. Another way to show availability is by making constant and prolonged eye contact. You're actually more likely to be remembered by someone if you hold their gaze. This is another indicator that you're a confident person, and you are all in on what they're saying to you. Blushing. This is one of the more common forms of body language. This typically happens when you're around someone you like, although it's one of the more embarrassing cues of body language. It is one of the best indicators of affection. Who knows, your guy might even think it's cute. Moments of touching. Fleeting moments of touching seem to have no significant meaning. However, they can mean a lot more than they appear to. For instance, when someone touches us, it can mean that they want things to open up to more touching. If you're wanting to move things to the next level with a guy, a small touch might just be the way. This will send him a message that you desire his touch. Mirroring. You might have heard of this term before. It's something we all do as we mirror the movements of others. When you find yourself mimicking the movement of another, this means you're engaged in the interaction. This can signal to a guy that you're giving him your full attention. However, in addition to mirroring, there is also verbal mirroring. When you're interested in someone, you can share similar interests or even use the same words and expressions, displaying your best features through posture. There are certain postures that can help you draw your man in and even highlight your best features. For instance, when you sit up straight or lean back just a little bit, you instantly seem more confident and can draw attention to the most attractive parts of yourself. When you stand, try arching your back and throwing your shoulders back. This type of posture creates an attraction to your lower hips area and essentially creates the same effect that wearing heels would have. Speed of movement. Although this is a smaller expression of body language, it can surely show a lot. When someone moves slowly or takes their time, it exudes confidence. On the contrary, quick and jerky movement tend to show that a person is nervous. If you want to appear more confident in front of your man, challenge yourself to take your time. This will help you be viewed as confident, whereas quickness will demonstrate a lack of confidence. Slightly opening the mouth. Depending on the closeness of your connection, you might want to try a few more intimate forms of communication. For example, keeping your mouth softened and slightly open can give the impression that you're open to kissing him. It can even make it seem like you're a good kisser before your first kiss even happens. Tilting your head. This form of body language can also highlight a more attractive feature. By tilting your head to one side, you expose more of your neck. This will stir your man and have him wishing his lips could be there. You can combine this body language with eye contact and tilt your head once you've caught his gaze. To accentuate this gesture, you can also run your fingers through your hair, swishing it to one side and exposing your neck. After this motion, you'll then tilt your head to the side of your hair as one fluid movement, touching your skin. As your man's interest in you grows, things may progress further. You might begin holding hands or hugging. To move things in a more physical direction, you can try touching your skin to stimulate his desire to touch you. By grazing a hand over the skin on your neck, arms, or face, you'll provoke him to want to touch you in the same way. Playing with jewelry. This is a more flirty and playful form of body language. It's also a good and less direct alternative to touching your skin. As you engage in conversation or simply have your guy's attention, you might glide your fingers on your necklace. You can also do this with your earrings or shirt sleeves. This is sure to hold his attention while being in each other's company. Using open hand gestures. During a conversation with your man, you can earn a spot in his memory by using more hand gestures. But be sure not to overdo it, as the same goes for any of these body language techniques. Certain hand gestures, like the sweeping motion, can be used to emphasize the word everything. This gives your man a more visual feel of the message you're trying to send. You can also try using fingers when listing points, or making a fist to express that you're determined. To be more sincere, you can bring your hands to your chest while talking about something personal. Biting your lips. The closer you and your man become, the more intimate you can be. This form of body language indicates you want the relationship to be more intimate. When he notices you biting your lip, he might feel more inclined to kiss you if you weren't already. Or this could plant the idea in his head about kissing you. Biting your lips is something you can always do to spice things up. Using power poses. Power poses sprung from a popular TED Talk by Amy Cuddy. They are used to feel more powerful and confident about yourself. Now apply this to grabbing your man's attention. You can only imagine how this would make you and him feel. By striking a power pose, you'll not only encompass his every ounce of attention, but you will feel like $1,000,000 in doing so. You can try standing with your hands on your hips and shoulders back. This power pose will immediately make you feel more confident, which is just attractive. Pointing your belly button towards him. This is one of the less common forms of body language, or at least one that isn't typically thought about. However, when you're interested in someone, you tend to point your entire body at them. For example, while you're out, you might find yourself facing away from a man trying to talk to you, indicating you're uninterested and disengaged. On the contrary, while talking to a man you're engaged with, you might find your body facing toward him. This will send a clear message to your man about your interest in him and keep the conversation flowing. So, are you feeling ready to put this to the test? Pay attention to the subtle signs your own body language is giving off, and you'll be sure to win your man over. In fact, body language can be the best communicator in telling him where the relationship should go. It can also be a telltale sign of your interest in a man. Depending on your level of attraction, your next interaction might include several of these movements or only a few. You'll be the judge. Either way, your attraction to him and attractiveness to him are sure to be undeniable.